Hi, it's Wendy Hernandez, attorney and creator of Command the Courtroom. In today's video, I want to talk with you about paying really close attention to what's going on with your child as you're going through your family law case. Paying attention to his or her behaviors and deciding whether or not there's something that you need to do differently or you need to work with the other parent on to make sure that your child is, above all, happy. Because when you're in the middle of a custody case, it really is all about the children. I've talked about in many of my videos how everything that the judge is going to consider points to what's best for the child. So, and I'm raising this issue because I just got out of court. I'm in downtown Phoenix right now. You can see the courthouse in the background. And in this particular case, it really should be an easy case to resolve, but it hasn't been, unfortunately, because from my perspective, the father is really angry and bitter, and he's trying to control mother. So at a prior court hearing, the parties agreed that when the other parent was having parenting time with the child, that the parent who was not having parenting time was going to have a phone call a day with the child. And it was actually father who requested these phone calls happen. So mother consented, and she said, yeah, no problem, let's set the phone calls between this time, and and each of the parties can talk as long as the child wants to talk. Well, what ended up happening is that the child doesn't really want to talk much to father on the phone, and I guess that's upsetting to father, and it's upsetting to the child too. So now father has changed his position, and he's decided that he doesn't want the phone calls to happen. So he has asked mother to stop the phone calls, so when the child's with one parent, then the other parent would not get any contact with the child. So in talking to mother, I told her that, this was a situation where the parties had made an agreement and she had every right to insist on him following the agreement if that's what she wanted to do. And she said, yeah, I would love to talk to our child when he's with dad, but this is what I'm observing. When the child's with me and it's time for the phone call with dad and dad calls, the child might be involved in playing with his siblings and his cousins, and he's having a fabulous time, and that's what children should be doing. And he's totally distracted. He goes and has the phone call with the father, and then he comes back and he's crying and he's upset, and he goes in his room and shuts himself in. And she said, so I really don't think that it is best for these calls to continue. And she said, by the same token, when I call to have my telephone call while the child is with father, the child is really nervous on the phone. He's worried that I'm mad at him. He's worried that the father's mad at him. And she said, I just don't think it's good for these calls to continue right now. So, I was really surprised, and I was pleased at mom's position on this, because there's so many people out there who would have insisted and said, no, I need to have contact with the child because I want to know how they're doing, and this is an agreement that they made. But really what mom's looking at is what's going to make the child happiest. Now, mom doesn't have any concerns about dad's parental fitness or anything like that, and there's a lot of other factors that could come into play in different types of cases. You have to look at those as well. But where mom's head was at and is at is in the right place, because she's looking at what is best for the child and what's making the child happy. And as a side note, the child is having some problems, and mom is hoping that the parties can explore counseling for the child to help him work through these problems. The kid's about 7 years old. So counseling might be appropriate in this situation, and by all means look at that if you think it might help in your case. So remember to subscribe to the Command the Courtroom YouTube channel if you haven't already. You'll get notified of new videos as they come out on a weekly basis. Like Command the Courtroom on Facebook. Go to commandthecourtroom.com and check out all the stuff there. And keep on trucking until next week. And remember, Command the Courtroom.